Good morning, students. Today I am going to discuss about the overview of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023. This is the substantive criminal law which came into force from 1st July 2024. Before that, we had a Indian Penal Code which was enacted in the year of 1860. So before going to introduce about the new law, first of all, I would like to share about the philosophy behind introducing a reform in the criminal law. Everyone knows that whenever the law introduced, so what was the main intention behind that introducing the law to the welfare of the society, and those problems who are arise in the society, that problem can be mitigated with the help of the laws. That's why we can say that there are two types of law: good laws and bad laws. Good law means those law which is understand by the people, interpret by the judiciary, and implement the law among the society as per their needs. And of course, all law, those law which was enacted with constitutional spirit and need of the society. Everyone knows that we have the three wings, that is called the legislature, judiciary, and executive body. Legislature having the role to make the law for the society, judiciary having role to interpret the law as per the need of the society, and executive having the role to implement the law among the society. So whenever the law enacted by the government, that law is always subject to the judicial understand and interpretation. Sometimes happen those provisions which are not interpreting properly, or which is not implemented in the society as per the need of society, that law is called as a bad law. So that is the first thing. Then we can say that the earlier law, that is the IPC, having so many traditional and outdated provisions, they are no need to in present situation. Then now we are living in 2024, and Indian Penal Code was enacted in the year of 1860. At that time, the society, totally the nature of society, the social, that is called the social spirit was different types. But now social concept has been changed, and according to that, it's need to reforms the law also. Then all of you know that after the introduction of the Information Technology Act 2000, there are so many types of progress and innovation in the technology has been arise, and offenders are trying to commit the offense with the help of the technology. But in IPC, there were no such type of provision to mitigate that problem. And you know very well, due to that lacunas, due to that loopholes, there are there are possibility to abuse the power. And one thing is more important, when the offense is committed by the people, that person is considered as a victim, and those person who are the eyewitness, or those person who knows about that offense, that is called the witness. But shocking to know, earlier laws not properly provide the security for the victims and witness also. And such type of new offense, just like as organized crime, terrorism, mob lynching, snatching, such type of emerging offenses were not defined in the IPC. And one thing is also more important, earlier law, that is the Indian Penal Code 1860, was the punishment centric. But and its need, now we are living in the welfare society, that's why it's need to enact the law in the justice and public centric. And you know very well there are so many political agenda also, and all law is based on the individual spirits. And in that laws, actually when we read the BNS and that is the Indian Penal Code, so we come to know that there are some minor and cosmetic changes. So we can say that BNS is nothing but the old wine in the new bottle, and it's very important to application the discrimination against the class, etc. Just say, for example, our BNS is some provision under the defined under the BNS is a gender neutral. Means in that situation, ki those person who commit the crime before BNS, there was some offenses. In that offenses, only offender is considered as a male person. But nowadays, such type of concept has been changed. Just say, for example, modesty against women, voyeurism, stalking. For that purpose, both that is called the male, female, as well as transgender is if suppose they commit such type of offenses, so all persons are responsible irrespective of the gender. So that's why the criminal law is introduced. These are due to such lacunas. And then when we talk about the all three criminal law, so first we see the journey. So when we talk about the BNS, we already discussed कि BNS was the punishment centric. Sorry, IPC was the punishment centric, but now BNS has defined the concept of nyaya, justice. Then when we talk about the criminal procedure code, yes, at that the some procedure give us, but now our Bharatiya Shastra Suraksha Adhiniyam is provide the Suraksha, that is the concept of humanized for the person. Then when we talk about the Indian Evidence Act, so yes, evidence was there. Now we have the word Saksha. That Saksha is relating with the growing the role of the technology. Means with the help of the technology, with the help of the digital, we can prove our case. So these are the philosophy behind to introducing the three criminal laws. And then basic idea is that is called the rehabilitative justice, and with the help of that rehabilitative justice, we want to tackle the challenges which was arise among the society. And you know very well, main intention behind to introduce the criminal laws to create the justice system that is more equitable and modern and just. So that is the overall philosophy behind to introducing the criminal laws. Then when we talk about the introduction, so you know very well, our three criminal laws is the renovation of the Indian criminal justice system. It replaced the colonial laws by considering implementation of justice through a victim centric approach, increasing focus on national security, and introducing the digital as well as electronic evidence reviews and making them priority of these laws. So in simple language, we can say that our three laws which introduced from the 1st July 2024, that is more given priority for the justice, not for the punishment. So our Honorable Chief Justice of India, Chandrachud sir, also said that in one conference, that is the India's progressive path in the administration of criminal justice, he focused on the enactment of three new criminal laws by the parliament is a clear indicator that India is a changing. It means that from 1860 to till date, we had followed the that is called the colonial laws. Maybe that law was outdated, and now in the by way of introducing the three criminal laws, our India has been changed. Because when you read that three laws, so you come to know that all law is the justice centric. All law provide the reformative justice for the people rather than the punishment. So these are the needs, and for that purpose, now we are following the three new criminal laws. First is a colonial legacy. We already discussed that our laws, which was enacted in the British era, that was the outdated. Then earlier law was the punishment centric approach, but now we have the justice centric approach. Then outdated framework. There were so many provisions which was not applicable in present era. That was we need to read. Because of that, that provision was in the IPC, but nowadays that all outdated provisions has been removed from the BNS. Then less conviction rates because there were no such type of introducing about the how to use the technology, how to use the forensic laboratories, and how to recover the evidences with the help of the technology. That's why there is possibility to punish the peoples. Then we already discussed earlier law was the gender insensitivity, because it means that there are some discrimination between the female and male, and in IPC there were no scope for the transgender, but now we have the definition, that is the 2 clause 10, and transgender were added in the definition of gender. So now our PNS is a gender neutral. Then potential for misuse, yes, sometimes there are so many lacunas in the provision, that's why there may be misuse of the provisions. Then lack of the victim centric focus. All laws which was enacted earlier, that law is provide the only focus is that to provide the punishment of the offender rather than the victim protection. Then we already discussed कि there are no such type of technological integration adequacy. Then limited scope, yes, that earlier law was scope was very limited, and that's why it's need to introduce the three criminal laws in our India. So, by 1st July 2023, three new laws came into force, and that's thought to replace the three colonial laws. So, these are the new laws, that is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which replaced the Indian Penal Code, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, which replaced the Code of Criminal Procedure, and Sakshya Adhiniyam, which replaced the Indian Evidence Act. Today, I am going to only focus on the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and we will discuss in later BNSS and BSA. So, when we discuss about the BNS, so it's very important to study the comparative between the IPC and BNS. So, IPC was enacted on 6 October 1860. Our BNS was enacted on 25th December 2023. IPC came into force on 4th July 1862, and our BNS came into force on 1st July 2024. In IPC, there were total 511 sections divided into the 23 chapter, and on the same date, it means that on 1st July 1862, all sections came into the force. But when we talk about the BNS divided into the 358 chapter, which was covered in the total 20 chapters, and all section except section 106 clause 2, that is relating with the hit and run case, that is not applicable on 1st July 2024, but all sections except section 106 clause 2 applicable in force from the 1st July 2024. So when we see the numbers, that is earlier we want to read the section 511, and now we want to read only 358 section. So we will happy to new criminal law is reducing the sections, but no, my dear, all provisions, even the new provisions is also added in the BNSS. But difference is that some sections in IPC was defined in different sections. Just say, for example, when we read the definition part in IPC, so definition part starts from the section 6 and comes to end up to the 53A. But when we read the PNS, only section 2, yes, subclause is there, that is define the definition. So that's why the sections is the number of section is the reducive. And one thing is more important, in IPC, all provision, just say for example, when we talk about the offense relating with the women, offense relating with the children, all provisions, all offenses are scattered here and there. But when we read the PNS, all provisions are merged together. Just say for example, chapter 5 relating with the offense relating with the female and children, all offenses, that is called the rape, sexual harassment, dowry death, cruelty, then miscarriage, then those offense which is relating with the children, all sections are merged together. So it is very easy to read and to memorize the section for the students also. So this is the overall about the BNS. Only three things are important. BNS came into the force from 4 July 2024. There are 358 sections divided into the 20 chapters. And one thing is most important, that all sections came into force from the 4th July 2024. But section 106 clause 2 yet to be enforcement, because there is some debates, there is some that is called the discussion. That's why section 106 clause 2 is not applicable in India till date also. So now, what is the nature of the BNS? So first thing is, our BNS is a comprehensive. Comprehensive means all offenses which are relating with the human being, all offenses are covered under the BNS. Then, inspired and based on the technological tools where necessary, observe to add the technological tools. Yes, such type of thing, such type of concept is added in our BNS. Then more gender friendly, it is the more gender friendly means irrespective of the gender, person is liable for the punishment. Then our BNS is based on the modern concept. Those offense, just like as nowadays, you know very well, our India is facing some such type of offense, that is called the mob lynching, the snatching, organized crime. All things are covered under the BNS. Then accountability of various agency work to deal with the criminal laws. Those agencies, just like as a police officer, then criminal courts, session courts, yes, these are the accountability to work deal with the criminal laws. So this is the nature of the BNS. Then this is the main changes when we compare the BNS, that is the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, with the Indian Penal Code. So these are the some changes. So first, 20 new offense added in BNS. That new offenses which was not defined in the Indian Penal Code. So we will see later one by one which type of offense. But just say for example, mob lynching, then that is called the organized crime, petty organized crime, terrorism, snatching, such type of offenses added in the BNS. Then 19 provisions deleted from the IPC. Those provisions which are outdated, so that provisions was deleted from the BNS. Just say for example, section 124A relating with the sedition, that was deleted. Then section 377 also which was defined in IPC, and that was deleted. Then section 497, that is relating with the adultery, that is also deleted from the now. Such type of means total 19 provisions are there which was in the IPC, but which are not covered under the BNS. Then 33 offense punishments increase in the BNS. There are total 33 offense which define, yes, in IPC also there was punishment, but that punishment was very minimum punishment, but now that punishment has been increased. Then 83 offense quantum of punishments increase in the BNS. 23 offenses mandatory minimum punishment prescribed in the BNS. And we already discussed that BNS contained the 358 sections in 20 chapters, while IPC has the 511 section in the 23 chapter. So this is the changes, basic changes in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Then we will discuss the some minor and major changes. So first of all, major changes. First, we will discuss the one by one. First is the definition of child introduced in BNS in section 2 clause 3. Define the definition of child. Actually, the definition of child was not given under the IPC, but in BNS, this new definition is added. So child means who? So those person who are below the 18 years, that is considered as a child. Then Section 2, Clause 10, gender definition was already there in IPC, but the word transgender was not there. So now the word transgender has added in the definition of gender. And one thing is more important, that okay, whenever we read the definition of gender, so the one derivative that is called the he is representing the male, female as well as the transgender. Because when we read the grammar, so in that grammar the word he is represent for the male, and she, that is called the pronouns, represented for the female. But now our BNS and as well as IPC also, there is no such type of demarcation as per the general grammar. So the word he, that is called the he, is representing the all, that is called the male, female as well as the transgender. Then electronic and digital record included in our BNS, where whenever required, so such type of concept is added relating with the electronic and digital records. Then when we see the definition of property, section 2 clause 21 of BNS, so before that, yes, the definition of movable was there, but now the definition has been widened and the word property of every description has been added. It means that those person who tried to steal our intellectual property, yes, we can register the offense as a theft that on that person, because now BNS provide the such type of right to every person. Then chapter 5, that is the offense against the women and children. In IPC also, there were such type of offenses defined against the women and children, but that offenses are scattered here and there. But was one thing is very good in BNS, the new chapter, that is chapter 5 added, and all offenses relating with the women and children are merged there. Then again chapter 4, that is relating with the incomplete crime, that is called the in court crime, attempt, abatement and conspiracy. Yes, in IPC also there such type of concept was there, but again attempt, abatement and conspiracy are scattered here and there. Just say for example, attempt was given in section 511, abatement has been had been given in section 106 to 120, and conspiracy was given under the section 120A and 120B. So it's very difficult to memorize the person, because all are the incomplete crime, in court crime. But in BNS, all three incomplete crime are merged in the chapter 4. Then new crime like terrorism, hit and run case, mob lynching, organized crime, PT organized crime, snatching. There are so many crimes which are added in the BNS, which are added newly in the BNS, as there was no such type of concept added in the IPC. Then attempt to commit suicide deleted. Yes, in IPC there was such type of offenses relating with the attempt to commit suicide, adultery, and then section 377, then sedition. So all such type of offenses has been removed from the BNS. Yeah. Then minor changes. Minor changes means ki such type of concept has been there, that is in IPC, but in BNS some things are added or some things has been introduced. Beggary form of exploitation of trafficking is introduced. Yes, in IPC also there was some concept regarding the human trafficking, but there is one form, that is the beggary is added. Then earlier, if suppose those person who commit the grievous hurt, and if suppose that person is hospitalized up to the 20 days, that offense is considered as a grievous hurt. But nowadays the number of days reduced to the 15 days, up to the 20 days. Means earlier there was a 20 days, but now if suppose that person is hospitalized up to the 15 days, that offense is considered as a grievous hurt. Then we will discuss that there is one punishment, and that is the community service has been added in the punishment chapter. And those person who commit the theft and the value of that goods is less than the 5,000, that person is only liable for the punishment that is called the community service. Then reorganization of offenses, similar provisions club together. We already discussed those provisions which are the similar types, that is merged together and reorganized. Then earlier we had some word in the IPC like Queen, British India, Justice of Peace has been deleted because nowadays we are living in the independence India. So no need to study about the who is the Queen and what is meant by British India. That's why that is the deleted. And in 44 places, court of justice replaced with the court, because we already discussed our BNS is focused on the justice. So no need to discuss everywhere court of justice, because it is the duty of court to provide the justice those person who wants. So that's why the word court of justice replaced with the court. Then uniformity in use of expression child, we already discussed the definition of the child has been added. Those person who is below the 18 years of age, that is considered as a child irrespective of the gender. So the word child is uniformity used instead of the male child or female child. Then contemporary style of drafting is used by the draftsman, and at 12 places denote replace with the means, and that is to say replace with the namely. These are the some words which was added in the BNS, added in the IPC, but that is the replace. Then when we discuss about the chapter, so these are some modification and reorganization of the chapters of the BNS. First is a when we talk about the chapter 1, so decoding the title, section 1 to section 5, which has been given under the IPC, that is all merged in the section 1. Then section 2 deals with the all and new definition, replaced with the general explanation, which was defined in section 6 to 5 to A of the IPC. All definitions, those definition which was already in IPC and those definition which is newly introduced in the BNS, all defined under section only 2. Punishment chapter is more clear and comprehensive, and it is the chapter number 3rd, which starts from the section 4 and ends with the section 13. We will see later in detail. Then those the incomplete crime, that is the abatement, conspiracy and attempt, merged together in chapter number 4. Then priority is given to the offense against the women and children. We already discussed all offenses relating with the women and children has been defined in chapter number 5. Then all offenses against the women and children merged together, we already discussed. Then priority is given to offense against the human body, as earlier in IPC, offense against the human body was in chapter number 16. But now when we see the BNS, chapter number 6 define the offenses against the human body. Second priority is given offense against the state, because earlier IPC was the focus about the consent. That was the when we read the IPC, so then that is provide the protection of the state rather than the people. But now priority is that to provide the justice of the human being, and that's why first priority is relating with the offenses which are relating with the human being. There's a offense against human body, offense against women and children. Then new words added in offense relating to coin, that is the currency note, bank note, government study in one chapter. Earlier in IPC, all words are scattered here and there, but now all things are merged together. Then criminal intimidation, assault, annoyance, defamation, breach of contract merged together. Yes, such type of offenses was defined in IPC also, but again all offenses are defined in different chapters. But now one thing is very good, ki all things are merged together. So these are some modification. So when we talk about the overview of BNS, so yes, we already discussed about the philosophy, overview, and modification. So this thing is also very important. Ki what are the challenges to when we see ki when the our law is transfer from penal to nyaya. So what are the challenges before that new law? First challenge is that technological and advancement and its use. My dear friends, you know very well key numbers of peoples are those person who are the literate, even those person who are the well qualified, they are also no idea about the technological advance. So when we talk about the technology, yes, we have the soft phone, but also shocking to know we also illiterate about the which type of software is added in our mobile and which type of function has been newly introduced in our mobile. So that's why that is first challenge before the law, ki how to use that technology and how do people tackle that technology advancement. Then new offices and terminology, yes, because we already discussed ki our BNS is create for as per the modernization. So of course such new offenses and new terminology has been added. So it's also one type of challenge before the persons or those person who are the victim, those person who practicing as a law, even those person who are in judiciary, to understand about the new offenses and terminology. Then one thing is also important, conflicting with the other laws, because you know very well we have the one law relating with the terrorism, and we have the special law, that is the UPA, and same concept is added in the BNS also. So there is a conflicting. Okay, if terrorism has been happened, so which law is applicable? Means if UPA is applicable or the provision given under the BNS has been applicable. Then we already discussed ki one new punishment, that is the community service, has been added for the only six type of offenses in which are provide the prescribe the punishment of the community service. We will discuss in later. But one thing is more important, ki how, where, against whom, when to pass such type of even in BNS doesn't provide what is mean by community service. But when we read the BNSS, na, in that the what is means which type of community service shall be provided by the victims or shall provided by that offender, that concept has been adopted. Then retributive justice versus restorative justice, you know very well, when we talk about the heinous offense, so it is a question of fact कि whether in that such heinous offense or that is called the habitual offender, whether the principle of restorative justice has been applicable or not. And then unable to fill the gap observed by the Honorable Supreme Court in various judgment in past as well as future also. Let me see, because you know very well it's a came into force from the 1st July 2024, and that's why it's a these are some challenges we want to face by the all machineries, all the government agency. Then we already discussed reorganization chapter, reorganization of sections, court practice, increase the power of police, applicability of all judicial decision and interpretation, vague definitions, and learning and teaching. So these are some minor challenges we want to face here. So at last, we can say that the Republic of India's criminal code is called the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. It took the place of the 1860 past, that is called the Indian Penal Code. All facets of criminal law, including an offense, penalties, defenses, and process, are covered by the BNS. So, in short, we can say that our BNS provide the all things which has been already added in the IPC, and as well as those things which are not introduced in the IPC, not defined in the IPC, that all new offenses, new penalties, and new concept has been added under the BNS. So this is the overall introduction about the BNS. Thank you very much.